Hello everyone. This is the third video in my series concerning the sketch I wrote for the Tron Legacy Identity Disc replica that I'm working on. This is well, I thought I would do this one and the video after this separate, but I just noticed this video and the one after this, they're practically the same. This one just triggers the new pixel animation from simple new pixel animation by pressing a button, and the other one adds sound. So I'm going to do the two of them in the same video, and afterwards will be the sketch that I created where I included Erv Plecter's animation code. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow or the day afterwards because it's getting late, but I am going through this one. So what we are getting here is the inclusion of a library, in this case for the NeoPixels, and it contains all the nitty-gritty stuff to control the NeoPixels protocol stuff and etc. And all the code, as I mentioned before, is on my GitHub page, and the website contains the full build log of everything. Moving on, the definition for the buttons, as I mentioned before. Then you have the configuration for the NeoPixels, the pins that's used for the outside ring, the amount of pixels, 88, the brightness setting, and then for the C ring that's pin 12, 59 pixels. Of course, that's 2 times 59 because it's two pixel rows stacked on top of each other. Of course, they're controlled together. So for 118 pixels, and then some details on the pixel configuration. So the pixel count refers back to there, and that's just setup. If you have a non-RGBW version, so it doesn't have the white pixel, this one's not there. By default it's not there, you have to add it in, and GRB or RGB, that depends on the type of pixel being implemented. This is all mentioned in the Adafruit Uber guide, NeoPixel Uber guide, so definitely refer there. And then, of course, this is part of the buttons, and then the coloring. This is from Erv Plecter's animation color definitions. I just copied them from there, and they were already set up. As again referenced here, the NeoPixel Uber guide references, you can of course say strip.color and then mention that when you're controlling a strip, or just reference to for black, for instance, and define black here in the definitions, making it easier. Just mention black instead of this. You can just say black, white, white and half, red half, blue, and here it will know what you actually mean. So that makes your life easier. So it's pixel setup, banner, button setup, and then for this video the interesting stuff is here with the NeoPixels. So it just gives a line, it's setting initialize the NeoPixels, sets the brightness, it prepares the data pin for NeoPixel output, and it just shows the pixels. Because there is nothing declared yet, it'll just initialize everything to off. You won't see anything happen. So again, the button code that we went over before, and then here is a difference that because the C ring is not yet set up in the void setup to trigger automatically, I'm still doing it manually in this sketch. So the C ring, when it's pressed, when it's 0, it's deactivated. It starts as 0, so when I press it, it becomes 1 activated and triggers the color wipe 2 function for the C ring. And then if I trigger it again, it just powers off, which triggers a power off function, setting every pixel to black. Same thing here. So if I go down, you'll see the color wipe function for the blade, and it just goes through every available pixel and sets the strip to bluish white, and then shows that. And the same thing for the C ring. And I have 2 ones so that I can neatly have them go through the amount of pixels that are actually there. And then if I deactivate one of them, it just sets everything to black and shows that. So that's all there is to that. I'll go over to the Music Maker version which is in my next iteration effectively, but it's the same code, it just adds sound. And that means we're adding libraries for the VS1053, which is the chip at the heart of the music maker. And then we have the pins defined for it and some setup stuff, I believe. And going further down, we get to this point where you have your music player being set up. If it's not found, it prints an error and it stops going to do anything. If it is there, it just prints it's found and initialized. It makes a tone. You remove this in the later version. It just goes through 2 individual sounds, MIDI configuration, I believe that is, or something like that. Yeah. And again, then it goes for the SD card. It checks that. If it fails, then it stops. Check the SD card. If it's there, it's okay. Going on. Then you have the volume configuration. I included this comment for ease of reference. It's from the Adafruit Music Maker guide, and it just says left channel, right channel, and that 0 is loudest, 255 is off. Well, the right channel is no longer there on mine. I completely physically removed it, so that's off, and the other one I set to 10. That was a good volume. And then when I go down, I get back to the same functions we saw a moment before, and the only difference now is that we have a reference to play a track. And there you have 2 choices, play full file or start playing file. If you do play full file, it'll keep playing the file. No, it will play the file, but it won't do anything else until that file has stopped playing. And with start playing file, if your board supports interrupts, and I forgot to mention that here, mine does, the 32U4 feather does not. If it supports interrupts, then you can do the background playing, and you can continue with other stuff, so you can have the music play in the background while it's doing something else, which in this case of course is preferable. Same thing with the C-ring. So without further ado, I'll go to the boards and I'll just check, yeah, we have the correct board. It's the M0. I had switched it before, I forgot it. I had to switch it to my Leonardo board that I use for some testing stuff, and so I did think about changing it back. It sees it, so I'll just upload it to the disk. And it's almost there. I'll get the serial monitor. You can see the boot up. I think it's still going. Oh no, it gave an error. That happens sometimes. Yeah. And I try it again. 9 out of 10 times it runs anyway. So we'll just wait for that to complete. And there we go. There's the sound. And we get the nice boot up. So this time we see not just the buttons, but we also see the VS1053 is found, the SD is okay, and the new pixels are being initialized. And if I then add the screen capture, I can press the first button, and all the thing does is activate the color light. It's so very simple. And you have the nice siren saying you are getting an identity disc, and then you have the blade sound. Again, nothing more than the color wipe. It was just testing, does this work, moving on to the next thing. Because at that point I did not start the compiler's code yet. Also, this does not have any deactivation sound yet. It's just on or off, as you can see on the screen. And the third button, this code wasn't implemented, so just a button 3, so I was sure it worked. So that's that. So that's the end of this third video. I will be doing a next, for now the final video in the Arduino sketches soon, in which I will go through the last sketch that I made that where I incorporated Erv Plecter's animation code and improved further on everything, and that will be out well within a few days, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few days. It depends on when I get around to it, because few busy days, but that will come out soon. So I wish you a very good day. I hope this has been informative for you, that you've learned something from it. And again, if there are any questions, yeah, leave them in the comment section, or on the RPF thread if you're following me there. And have a very good day. Bye bye.